Did you like
I
that?
don't think I've ever actually like caught it just as one of these have been beginning. That was spectacular.
It's Fishy Jerks. It's the Fishy Jerks song. It's the dumbest thing on YouTube, and it's so close to me and to my heart that I thought it was a good representation of what this is all about right here. That was a good representation. Hi,
Absolutely.
hi, Callie. Hey, everybody. People still trickling in. I want to do my normal spiel before we jump in and talk to Callie. So again, for everybody that's been here before, you know this already, and I think Matt's already said some stuff. Oh, and I did see Kelly Foreman's comment about the interview with a cat. Interesting concept. We'll see what we can do. I do have a cat. We'll see. I don't think he's very forthcoming with his answers. But anyways, so the whole first half of the conversation, we're not going to be looking at chat at all. Callie and I are just going to be having a conversation, and that's it. But then the second half, we'll open it up to the chat and get any kind of questions you guys might have. I appreciate you all being here. Thank you. Thank you so much. Callie is the she works for API. Oh, just real quick though, she works for API, but she's not here as any kind of representation for API or anything like that tonight. It's just Callie. She's not, any views expressed are her own and not of API or the company there. So she's also the president of the Bucks County Aquarium Society and an amateur magician.
What?
See, you didn't even know, did you? That's the power of magic.
That's true.
I don't know.
Watch how fast I disappear.
I don't know where that came from, but I guess you're an amateur magician now. It's something you can add to the resume. I'm sure that will impress people. API and magic.
Right. But if you put that on there, you have to prove it. Like if you slide that across the table and they see it, they're like, okay, I need to know.
Yeah. There's like flowers or something.
Right.
Pulling coins out of people's ears or something like that. I did get to meet Callie at the Keystone Clash. She was heavily involved with the committee there. What part were you on the committee? What committee were you on, and what part did you play on that?
So normally what I am officially in charge of is making little advertisements, making the nice little graphics for the speakers, and putting that up on the Facebook page. Once the event starts, I just kind of go. And I see what needs doing, and I just run and do it. Normally, at the very start, it's a lot of lifting and a lot of setup. Same with teardown. But it's just teamwork. You just kind of, after a while, when you go to these events, you kind of get a feel for, okay, these are the things that need doing. Hey, did we check this? Where's that first speaker at? And what's going on with the hospitality room?
Yeah,
and just kind of go the whole weekend.
And how many of these have you done now?
That's a good question because we skipped a year, right? So
yeah,
we had this year, 2019, 2018. I think I was like actually involved, but I might have gone to a few years prior. I'm not quite sure which year I actually started.
Gotcha. And I've given kudos before. I had a blast, and all the people that I met, I didn't go with anybody except my wife, but I met a lot of people there. Everybody gave kudos. Everybody had a great time. George in the hospitality room, I made sure to shout him out special because I really enjoyed the hospitality room. I think you guys did a great job. Oh yeah, there was all kinds of adult beverages and things in there to do, and yeah, we all enjoyed it. I think there was like about 20 fish tubers that I know that went.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we just had a blast. We had a great time. So you guys really did a good job. The entire crew, everybody that joined in did an amazing job.
That's awesome. We meant to make it smaller this year, and we accidentally still managed to have more people attend than 2019. So, oops.
And you explained that to me. We actually did an interview. For anybody who didn't know, we did an interview from the Keystone Clash in the morning. She took time out of her very busy day to sit with me for a few minutes and talk. That would be the one criticism I did have, was that the vendor room was way too small. But you explained that you weren't expecting near that many vendors to come in. So,
yeah, we were actually kind of surprised. I guess it was about that time where people were starting to actually be comfortable going out again. And there were way more vendors. We had to just stick them in the hallway, in the front room, and do what we had to do just to make sure everybody could participate. So next year, I don't have a date for you yet. We're working on that, but bigger. We're gonna get a bigger area. That's like we know it's a criticism, and we're fixing it for next year. So
and it was a criticism, but at the same time, when you explained it, it did make sense, and we understood there was nothing you could do about it at the time, and it definitely didn't deter me from going again, because I am going to go to the Triple Crown in Kentucky, and the only other show I'm going to is the Keystone Clash. Those are the two I'm going to, regardless of when they are next year. So,
awesome.
Unless, of course, they're the same weekend. Don't do that to me.
They're not.
Okay.
When's the other one, the Triple Crown?
It's like July 26th, I believe. 26th. End of July, right? People in the chat will let us know. But it was, I believe it's like the last week of July, and 5 days, I think, right? So, do you guys even have a ballpark on when you're thinking?
It's usually September. So if it's a different month, we know there's not going to be a conflict.
Yeah.
We're just still trying to dial in the day or the weekend. Basically, it has to do with the contract. So right now we're looking over the contract with the hotel and being like, these are the rooms that we want. This is the space that we want. Please let us have these things. And then we can, pay them and get the job done.
Yeah.
Although I think we pay them when it actually happens, but you get the idea.
Well, I know for a fact I will be there, and most of the people that I talked to that were there last year are definitely going to be there too. So you can at least count on these 20 people coming.
I'll be back. Maybe I'll even show fish. It's been a while.
Nice.
But I'm itching to get more fish again, because I actually had to recently move. So I'm like a little displaced, but hopefully by September I'll have a space.
Gotcha. And we'll dig into that a little bit too. Let's put the Keystone Clash aside and talk more about you. That's really why we're here. Keystone Clash is cool and all, but we're here to learn more about Callie. So you live in Pennsylvania. You don't have to give us exactly where, but roughly where do you live in Pennsylvania?
Like right out of Philly, like north.
Pretty close to Philly. And as we mentioned, Callie does work for API, but not here as a representative of API, just herself. And how long have you worked for them?
It's been 3 years, almost 4 years. It'll be 4 years in January.
Nice. And how did you get hooked up with that? You know what? We'll get there. That's sort of jumping in the middle. Let's go way back. Let's get in the way back machine. Let's go way back.
Where do you come from?
Exactly. Have you always lived in Pennsylvania? Are you from Pennsylvania?
No.
Okay.
I'm from Massachusetts originally.
Okay.
So I grew up 40 minutes out of Boston to 40 minutes out of Philly. I've swapped main cities. But I started out in Massachusetts, went to University of Massachusetts Amherst, ended up stopping school for a little bit, and then I started up again in Delaware Valley University, so Del Val, which is obviously down here. So I made the skip over to here, and I ended up actually liking it. I got involved with the Bucks County Aquarium Society, and then I haven't been motivated to go back. I like it here.
Nice. And did they play a big part of that? The BCAS? Did they? You said you got. What exactly about that Aquarium Society made you want to stay there? Did the people, or just the whole thing, or is there anything that really stood out?
Well, it was one of those things, right, where I had followed their Facebook page for a while, and you know how it is. You see something online, you're like, this could be interested, but like you just kind of watch it for a while because you're not sure if you really want to go out and put yourself out there because you're not going to know anyone. So I blame Tom because Tom actually put some lab equipment up for free at the meeting, or putting it in the auction or something. And I was like, I could use graduated cylinders. I have an obsession with like small lab equipment. So that was the triggering event. So
And for people who don't know, Tom is Alishon. I believe he's in here. I
yes,
think I saw him. Alishon is the what's his exact title for the club?
he is the Sunshine Chair, and he's also
Sunshine
the
Chair.
Ways and Means Chair. He
Gotcha.
has
Okay.
he has multiple titles.
Gotcha. I like the Sunshine Chair, and I think from now on, I'm just going to call Alishon Sunshine.
Ooh.
I think that from now on, Alishon, that's your new nickname. You know what though? He might not like that, and he might not ever bring me pie again. So maybe I shouldn't.
Yeah,
Maybe
be
I
nice
shouldn't.
to Tom. It's nice to be nice to Tom.
Yeah, yeah. maybe I
He
should
does so
rethink that.
much.
All right, so Tom was the one. He put up
Yeah,
the lab equipment.
yeah, laid the breadcrumbs. And the one thing that I absolutely love about Bucks County is as soon as you get into the room, people will go out of their way to talk to you, to make you feel welcome. I walked in, didn't know where to sit, and my best friend now, Jackie, was like, "You can sit here," and like that was the end of it. I just kept coming back each month, and
Yeah.
it was amazing. And then they roped me into being a board member and then president.
And what? How do they do that? Because we talked about that a little bit, and I'm a member of the CNYAS, and I've never had that feeling with them. If anybody from the CNYAS is watching, I haven't been to a physical event yet, so that might be part of it. Maybe they're just not really good at the virtual stuff. Um, but I've never been. Nobody ever introduced themselves. Nobody ever asked us who we were. Nothing like that. There was nobody. So maybe they're missing that Sunshine Chair, and that's the main thing. But and I've heard that same type of complaint from fish keepers all over the place. So the Bucks County Aquarium Society has something special going on there with that welcoming demeanor. And
Yeah,
I joined them too. I'm in upstate New York. I'll probably never make it to a meeting, but I joined the club just to show my support because I was so appreciative of that feeling that I got from all the members at the Keystone Clash. So
that's our reputation, and all it is well, it's gratitude and inclusivity,
in that word,
because you have to make things family friendly,
yeah,
because you have to remember that the future of your club is only 3 feet tall,
yeah,
right? That you have your younger
yeah.
members that you really need to make sure that you look out for,
I
and
think I think
don't talk
Fishymon
down.
is in here too. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I think Fishymon is in here. You said 3 foot tall. I'm looking for him. I don't.
Oh.
Sorry, Fishymon. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. You're right, though. Yeah, the future. Yeah, the
Yeah,
kids.
you always have to be looking out for the next generation and people who have not historically been included. um uh Susie Q
Yeah,
had me on her channel for a questionnaire about general hardness, carbonate hardness one time, and she got me at the end of the interview. She's like, I felt so included because I knew I would be welcome. You just have to be able to kind of foster that feeling,
yeah,
and mean it, and not like look down on anyone, because everybody started somewhere, and it's all about building each other up
yeah.
is the main thing.
Well, and I don't know if it's the fact that you're a younger person, but the fact that you've included so much uh, social media in the group as well. I think that's a big thing too, because a lot of the older groups, or a lot of people in the older, a lot of older people in the groups, they're not so social media savvy
Mhm.
and actually look down on it quite a bit. And you guys instead are using it. Like if you're a member of the BCAS, you don't even have to be a member, correct? You can actually watch the talks.
Right. So if you're a member, you get it emailed to you. You have the bucket, which is our newsletter. You get
Yes.
some extra like hand holding as far as getting there.
Yeah.
But we do let
Plus the
everybody,
raffle.
plus the raffles member only. It's
Yeah.
very important to have incentives, because if you have no incentives, you don't have any members. So
Sure.
remember that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we kind of embraced it, especially with the pandemic. We made sure that everybody could at least participate from their homes. And yeah, I mean, we try and keep it both ways, right? Because the email is what the older members do want, so we continue with that. And I want to say we only stopped sending out the newsletter in like hard copy like maybe 2 years ago.
Wow.
So it's very important to just not forget everybody too. Like we
Yes.
could have just gone like full throttle social media and it would have been probably okay, but we would have lost some people. So it's important to make sure, because that's your elders of the hobby too.
Sure. A lot of knowledge would have maybe left or been upset or whatever. So yeah, there's a balancing act. I think, yeah. And you know, we wanted to talk about Callie, but we keep talking about all these different things that you're involved in instead. But I think it's sort of just, it is talking about you at the same time. You know what I mean? Because you are so heavily involved. Yeah, it's what you do. It's who you are. So you've been the president for just over a year now, right? Didn't you just come up for re-election again, or is that coming soon?
The elections are in December. Nominations just happened, or are happening until the 15th of this month.
Okay.
I became president 2017.
Oh, geez.
And they keep asking me back, and I haven't said no yet. So.
Well, nice. I didn't even realize. I don't know why I thought it was only like a year or two. So that's been a long time. Okay. How old are you, roughly? You don't have to give me the exact, but you know.
I have to count. I think it's 31, because I'll be 32 in December.
Okay. That's good. You had to think about it. I thought you were younger, but still, and I think that bodes well. Not that every club has to have a young president, obviously, but I just think it bodes well for the club. And again, I really enjoy it. I joined after meeting you guys as soon as I got home. I jumped on your website and joined. I think as soon as I got home from the Keystone Clash, because it wasn't just you. It was Alishon, and it was other people. Scotty, I think, is he in your club, or was that a different club?
Yep,
I don't remember, because there was like 3 or 4 clubs working together.
Yeah, we all intersect. We're really good to our sister clubs, and there's just a lot of interconnectedness. A lot of the times because in this area you can drive to them all. You'll have someone that's a member of 3 or 4 clubs, just because it's all within driving distance. Yeah,
so nice.
You're spoiled here, absolutely spoiled.
I'm so jealous of that, because I have one club that's within like 3 hours of me.
Is it closer than 3 hours though? I hope.
What's that?
Is it closer than 3 hours though?
Yeah, it's like an hour and 15 minutes.
Okay, that's not.
Yeah, but even extending farther out, I don't believe there are any other clubs. At least I haven't discovered any. If they are, they don't really have much of an online presence. So there could be other ones in the area, upstate New York, but I think most of them are more towards Albany, which is, again, it's like a 3.5 hour drive for me. So the only one by me is the CNYAS. And again, I don't want to say bad things about them, because I don't know them. I haven't been to a face-to-face meeting yet.
Is it Central New York Aquarium Society? Are they newer?
No, but I understand they used to be. Gary Lang knew who they were. I did have a couple conversations with Mr. Lang, and he knew who they were. And he said that they had just gone through a lot of changes. They used to be a much bigger club, but somebody had passed away that was like their driving force, and the club had gotten a lot smaller. So maybe a lot of the people that are currently in those roles are not used to doing it, or whatever it is. I do need to go to an actual meeting and see if I can, like you did, and see if I can help out, and maybe I can be a sunshine chair, like my role model, Alishon. I want to be the sunshine.
You got to do it, because clubs can like kind of ebb and flow with how many people are involved or who the leaders are, and yeah, if you think that maybe there's room for improvement in your local club, go there. Be the driving force, because often like it's only a few people that run it. So
they're volunteers. Yeah, they're volunteers. I get it. That's not their job, So, be the change you want to see, right? Be the change you want to see. Okay, so So you went to you went to college and decided, and because of Alashon, you decided to stay in Pennsylvania.
Mhm.
Uh, and how did you meet John?
Um, so online dating, because I had gotten out of like a terrible relationship prior. So I was like, I'm done. I need to be compatible. So I went on like OK Cupid and obsessively compulsively like answered all the questions and refused to talk to anyone who was under like 90%.
Yeah.
And then he comes along and it immediately starts talking D&D because he found it in my profile. So, and yeah, he saw the I had a picture of me in like plate armor, and it was done.
Oh, that's beautiful. That is and we talked about that at the Clash. We are looking for an online dungeon master. We were There's a lot of us that want to play D&D. We really need to try and get something set. If and for people who didn't know, obviously, John is Callie's significant other. I got to meet him too. He reminded me a lot of our own Stephen P. 2003, who is in the chat right now.
Oh,
Just something about his demeanor. Uh, Same type of beard and stuff too. Facial expressions, but I don't know. They seemed almost cut from the same cloth. But anyways, we're definitely looking for somebody who wants to DM. So if one of you guys
okay.
is interested, or if we just even want to get into the thing, we can get a game going. There's quite a few of us that are interested. So if you
Yeah.
guys are interested,
It does not need much like pushing
yeah.
to dungeon master for anything. Like I think we have probably like 4 games going,
Oh, do
something like
you?
that, and half of them are him. So
Okay.
yeah, there's he he was laughing after like we talked because he was like, oh no, like he's gonna think that you're like pushing me to be DM, but like you just want someone to run you
Yeah.
through.
Yeah, we definitely do. Oh, Stephen P says, "Oh, does he have resting bitch face too?"
No, he does not, as far as I know. But I like him so.
Yeah. Um. Okay, so that's cool. That's a cool story. I like that you met on the line. I've been married for 30 years, so the online dating scene was never a thing for me. But my daughter also met her husband online, so it's pretty common these days. I don't think it's different at all. I bet people meet more often online or through apps these days than any other way. I bet you
Yeah,
that's a thing.
especially with the pandemic.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure that only got more popular.
Definitely. Definitely. All right. So, how did you get hooked up with API then? Did you get, were you still in college when you got hooked up with them, or how did that come about?
Was I? I was either ending college or it's like briefly out. But one of my coworkers now was participating in the Bucks County Aquarium Society. So I had already become president. I was already doing my thing. And one day he was like, "Hey, this position opened up. Did you ever think of like actually going into the industry?" I was like, all right.
Nice.
I'll
Nice.
look at it. I'll see what I can do.
So, not only is the club good for just hanging out with people, you might be able to find a job too, people. You really need to go find your local club. Maybe you'll find an awesome dream job in the industry. And what do you, oh, that froze for a second. What exactly is your role at API?
So basically, I'm kind of forward facing as far as consumer interaction. So, do I have a bottle somewhere? Let's see if I have a bottle. Every bottle has a phone number on it, and I answer that number. So,
Gotcha.
well, it's not just me, but I'll answer that number. I'll respond to emails because you can email through the website. And I'll walk you through using the product. If you have problems, I can walk you through, okay, here are the things to look for. Here's the troubleshooting. Here's how you fix it. And sometimes people don't know what their question is. So
Gotcha.
having the kind of experience to know this person's actually asking about a cloudy aquarium. This is a new aquarium. So the problems they actually have are these things instead, and these are the things that you need to do to fix that problem to have the balanced tank, and
it's
just walking through that.
Yeah. It's IT.
Yeah,
because that's exactly what IT was. People would call up, like I would go to somebody's desk and they'd tell me my email's not working. Well, come to find out, it has nothing to do with the email. The whole computer's not even on. There's so you're sorting through all the information they're giving to you and finding out what the real issue is and then helping them.
Yep. And cool. I'm basically the resident fish nerd is basically how that goes. I actually got my boss's boss to say that one time, like, this is our fish nerd. this is the person.
Nice. Is that how you got Super Fish Nerd too, or did you already have that?
That is Michael's fault. Michael's Fish Room called me a super fish nerd when he interviewed me, and I could not think of a better name for my channel, so I just went with it. I think there is another fish nerd channel. I feel kind of bad, but I didn't know about them before I just went with it. So it's done now.
But you're super fish nerd. You're not just fish nerd. And our amazing mods are dropping the links there. It'd be awesome if everybody goes over there that doesn't have Callie and subscribes to her. Watch the content. Currently, you're not doing a whole lot of your own content. You said you want to, right? But you're really just posting the talks, but then they get turned off after a while. Right.
So basically each month I do the Bucks County Aquarium Society meetings through YouTube. So they get posted to the channel so everybody can see and interact, because it was kind of the easiest, cheapest way to do it without limits on how many people could actually watch it. We were looking at Zoom and other things, and I think there was like 100-person limit. And there have been meetings where we've hit that. So we were a little concerned about having to pay for it. So we just did that, and it was simple. And I did it through my channel because I was too optimistic with how long the pandemic would last.
Gotcha.
So I was like, I don't want to make a whole new channel for a few months.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah.
And then I'm just doing that content, so I'm a little distracted from doing my own, but eventually I would like to do some things on there, just to have stuff, because I do take the videos down, because you're asking a speaker to come for your club. That's their content. They make their honorariums off of that. That's kind of like their hobby livelihood. So you have to respect that. So we do take them down.
They might want to use that same talk, or they might want to take parts of that talk. And if it's out there forever, then people can just go watch that. And why go watch the guy? Because it's So that
is coming back in. So that's kind of where that comes from. So I only have a few videos. I think one is my face shield project that I did in the beginning of the pandemic. But we'll see. Give me ideas in the chat, and maybe I'll do some content just for fun.
Nice. 3D printing, then, right? You said.
Yes.
And what kind is it? Is it the filament, or do you have resin, or which one do you do?
I did the filament. So when the pandemic started, I wanted to help, and I could see people struggling, and that was kind of my anxiety project. Got my 3D printers from Micro Center, just kind of chugged through the learning curve, which was it's pretty steep with these things if you haven't touched them before, with actually getting the files and slicing them and then making it actually work. But I did end up making the face shields and distributing them, and people were really thankful. I think I made probably 250 of them.
Nice.
I made some of the mask strap things.
Yep.
Back, and I actually made some bias tape jigs for the sewists. So people who are making masks, it was a tool for them to do it easier.
Oh, cool. Now, so I don't want to get too nerdy on this. How did is the filament nice and flexible for the mask part that you were talking about for the extender? Is the filament pretty flexible when you do those little things like that?
So
it's not too brittle.
It was flexible enough. You have to make it thick enough as a piece, otherwise it will break. I used PETG because it was a material that I was reasonably certain that they could sterilize. Gotcha. With the other ones, I forget what's the most popular one that melts at lower temperatures, but alcohol will, PLA I think will melt under alcohol, and I thought that was not good for a mask that had to go to a hospital.
Yeah.
Because I was sending them to hospitals, I was sending them to dentists.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And the fact that you taught yourself in that time too. Because while you were doing that, I do some 3D printing too, but while you were making that, I made this. So you did something upstanding and good for society, and I'm making Deadpool busts. So I have a resin printer, though. I don't have the filament.
Yeah, you can't really make a face shield on a resin printer. It's just not going to fit.
If you did parts and they interlocked, and then just too much. A filament's definitely the way to go for those bigger things. For little things like this, or for things that you want detail on, resin is great for that, but not for that type of thing.
Not for big stuff. Yeah, I was using like a 0.8 nozzle and churning them out every 4 hours.
Nice.
And just go. And I had it on like a schedule. In the morning, I would set the printers. At noon, I knew they'd be done. So I'd set the printers again, eat lunch. And then, at the end of the workday, I would do it again. And if I stayed up late enough, sometimes I could get another round.
Nice. That is cool. And that's a good segue into, we touched a little bit on the D&D and stuff, but what other types of hobbies do you have other than fish keeping? And we want to get into that a little bit too, because I understand you're in the middle of some things. So, but video games, reading, I mean, is there any other big hobbies you have?
Yeah. So where to start? Because I'm pretty sure I have ADHD. I acquire hobbies.
Yep.
So it's just everything at all times. I like working with my hands. So crafting, I do a lot of resin. I don't know if you can see that at all, but
here, let's put you on the big screen real quick.
I'm gonna take it off so I don't have to like zoom in too much. Or do I have one right here? I have an example. We'll do that.
There we go.
Look at it.
Oh, I saw this. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that on Facebook. That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is very cool.
So I'll make little trinkety stuff. I'll make big stuff like the shrimp.
Look at that. Oh, what's that made out of?
That's made out of felt.
I want one. That is awesome. I love that.
That
is cool.
2 years ago, I think 2 or 3 years ago, I didn't have a Halloween costume, and it bothered me so much that I was like, you know what? I have 4 hours.
And you made one.
And I made one, and that's the sexy shrimp. Is what it actually is. Awesome. And I made it first non-sexy, which is the regular shrimp coloration.
It's Halloween. Everything.
And wore it to work. No, you had regular shrimp for work.
Okay.
Went that night and put the white spots on it. So it was sexy shrimp at that point. And then put the dress under it. And I was like, it's a joke.
There, Halloween costumes, there's a sexy everything. Sexy SpongeBob.
Oh, God.
Why? No. Why do we have that? Why is that out there? What's wrong with you people? We don't need sexy SpongeBob, okay? It's just wrong. But I do love that. Now, do you do any? Do you sell? Do you have like an Etsy store or anything like that?
I don't yet. I should probably make one at one point because I'm starting to like ramp up because you start hitting like critical mass with the amount of stuff that you get when crafting. And then you're like, ooh, I have like $300 worth of just like colorants and powders and stuff. Maybe we need to maybe we need to sell some stuff.
Yeah.
So eventually I will sell them. This one, it's an isopod on the necklace. So I did actually sell 2 of them just because I had them like just hanging out on my profile, and someone was like, can I order some of these? So I actually sold 2 without even actually.
Oh, yeah, that is cool.
Oh, isopod.
That is cool. Man, you and Chattanooga Ed, we were talking about that the other day. You said when are we doing an art stream?
Mm-hmm.
Chattanooga Ed does one every Thursday night. It's called Craft Ed, crafted, because his name is Ed.
That's
And he's crafty.
very clever.
He always does stuff on there, and he's a good friend of mine. I'll bring it up to him. Maybe sometime you can come up and show him how you make some of your stuff, and I bet he would be really interested in that. And then also on Saturday nights, they do a stream on punchy paints on Pam on her channel. Usually there's maybe 4 of them, Bob Kaler and Punchy Paints and Ed and sometimes Skipper or Shrimp Granny. There's a few people that go up on it, and excuse me, and they do, like, Ed will paint miniatures or whatever. They all paint
something. Too.
Punchy Paints. Pam is an amazing artist. She does she'll do drawings and stuff and do auctions and things for her art. There's quite a few very artistic people in the Fish Fam. We've got quite a few artists, different, Stephen P., great musician, Myrtle, great musician. We've got other people that are just great. Bird Garden, Rack from Bird Garden. He does songs and he does paintings and just all kinds of stuff. So there's something about the hobby that brings in those type of people, I think. I'm not sure what it is because I don't have that in any way. I have no artistic skills.
It's either that, like, gotta catch 'em all mentality, where you're like, oh, I want all these things, or like, how you sit in front of the fish tank and it's calming. Crafts have like a similar effect on some people. So
Gotcha.
Like when you're seeking that feeling, that's where you end up.
That makes sense. For me, the crafts don't. I get really stressed out, and it's because I suck at it so bad, and I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So it's just I don't want to do this.
You need like UV resin is the simplest, easiest thing, and you get your little molds. You can pre-buy them, and like this crab guy, he's just a crab from the mold. In 3 minutes, you too can make a crab. You can do it. I believe in you.
You're awfully pushy with this art stuff. Maybe I don't want to do art. That's cool though. So it's just resin. How do you do? Oh, I don't want to get too far into it. I don't want to jump too far into that. That is a great thing though, and I really I'm going to talk to my buddy Ed and see if he's interested. If you're interested, Thursday nights around it's usually 10:30. Is that a good time for you?
As long as it's not a Thursday that it's the Bucks County.
Okay.
Because that's the first Thursday of every month. So as long as it's not the first or the last Thursday, which is our board meeting. So half of the Thursdays I am free.
Okay. I'll just mention it to him. I don't want to, throw him under the bus or anything. Maybe, I don't know. He doesn't usually have guests up very often, but I think that would be great. You're a perfect fit for that show. And I think he would like to see some of the stuff that you make as well, because you make the kind of stuff that he would like to see. And I see that Diego just said that you just hit your 300 subs.
Oh, neat. Thank you.
Very cool. Very cool. That's a part of this too. That's a part of the focus on thing is, sometimes we have large channels on here, and sometimes we have small channels. And when we do have the small channels, love to give them a boost. So thank you for everybody that did go over and show some support. It's easy to subscribe to people that are just good people. It's so easy, regardless of what the content is. Just knowing that you're a decent person and you're fun to hang out with is enough for me to subscribe to people. So, all right. So we were way back on the hobbies. You talked about all the crafty kind of stuff. Is there anything else? Any other major hobbies that you have in there?
I mean, there's the role-playing games. I've gotten into Warhammer a little bit, and by that I mean I've purchased all the lizard boys that I could possibly get my hands on, but I still have to paint them, so it's kind of a problem.
Yeah.
Like the new model syndrome, where you just keep getting the interesting lizard boys, and yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. I
Wait,
also
wait,
do.
before you go further, I'm sorry to interrupt you
Yeah.
too. How did you get into the role playing games too, like D&D and stuff? I mean, did you do that as a kid? Was it in college, or where did you discover that, and how did you find out that you really really enjoyed it?
So when I was probably elementary school, I had a phase where dragons were the best thing in the world. And honestly, I never grew out of it. Dragons are the best thing in the world. So
Gotcha.
I was doing a lot of dragon art, just drawing dragons all the time because I could. At that point, I wasn't into D&D, but that's only because I couldn't find anybody to actually play with me. So it wasn't until much later where I was like, oh, here's this game where it has all the stuff that I like in it. Sweet. We can play with dragons. Look at all this cool armor. Let's go.
Nice. And did you do any LARPing too?
Not so much.
Okay.
I do have the plate armor.
Yeah, you said that.
Because
That's why I wondered.
that was my gift to myself after I left my ex. I was like, you know what? I've earned it. I bought my 5th edition handbook and my plate armor, and I went. Gone. But I'll dress up for Ren fairs. Like I'll do the plate armor. I'll use it for Halloween sometimes. Yeah, I'll dress up. I like doing it. Like any excuse to dress up, I'll usually take just because it's fun. It's fun
Yeah.
to be different characters.
Sure. Yeah, I get you. All right, I'm sorry that I interrupted you too, but you were talking about Warhammer, and then where were you going to go there? That's when I rudely
Oh,
cut you off.
I also have a great number of tools, and what I'm currently doing is volunteering each Saturday at the North Philly Peace Park. So I literally just go every Saturday, and I renovate, and like I tear down drywall, I put new drywall back up.
Nice.
I do construction, and basically just put my labor towards something that's I think is pretty cool, because the Peace Park is basically a plot of land in North Philly where they've started to grow a garden for the community, and started to run like community-based programs. And I was like, that's super neat. And they need someone who can do tool stuff. And I worked on my family's lumber yard for like 10 years. I can do tool stuff, like a lot of tool stuff. So, yeah.
I like that. That's awesome. That is awesome. John is a lucky man. I'm just going to say that he's a lucky man. You're hitting all the different things there. That's awesome. All right, so we talked about hobbies. How far? Oh, geez, we're actually already 45 minutes in.
Wow.
I guess we better open it up to the chat before people start throwing stuff, flipping tables and stuff.
That's fine.
I'm going to start. Let's see. Was there anything else though first before that I wanted to ask you? We talked about, and again, I didn't want to dig too far into the Keystone Clash because I want to make it more about you. Well, before we open it up, is there anything you've got coming up or anything that's going on that you'd like to tell anybody else about? That you got the platform? There's like 60 people watching, so is there anything you'd like to tell those 60 fish nerds? Or you know what? I'm sorry, you started talking. I'm interrupting you again. We didn't get into, and maybe it's uncomfortable to talk about, but the home situation and stuff. Does that?
Oh, yeah.
Is that something you don't want to dig into too much?
It's fine.
So
I'm angry about it, but not like a little traumatized. Well, whatever. So I was renting, obviously. And so the ceiling kept leaking, which is a problem, generally speaking. If the kitchen water's coming down from the ceiling, that's usually considered bad. Kept happening on and off, like a little here, a little there. Apartment complex did nothing. And then mid-year this year, 30 gallons of hot water heater from upstairs just went whoosh. And yeah, at that point they finally did something, but that something was like vacuuming the water and putting a fan, which I was like, no, this is not good enough. The drywall is wet. Because again, I do construction. This is like what I do. And I'm like, the drywall is wet. The studs are wet. There's mold in there. So I just kept on them. And eventually they're like, okay, we'll remove the wet drywall. So I took the day off and I'm just sitting there with like my feet up and like just surrounded by my tools because like women will know you need to look the part to be taken seriously sometimes.
Sure.
So I made sure that I did look the part at that point. And as soon as the drywall came down, I could smell it. I could smell the mold, and it was just a wall of black. Part of it was blooming. There's like a little speck of yellow too. It was gross. So at that point, we were like, this is uninhabitable, obviously. But they did it all in one day, right? They took the drywall down, and then I guess sprayed bleach or something. But then they closed it in wet, which is a no-no. You don't do that, which I know, but they did not. And I told them, like, you can't do that. Did it anyway. And so we left. We considered that a constructive eviction. And we had to basically, with no warning, grab all our stuff and go, which is not like a small thing because we have probably, well, I know we have at least 12 feet, but like probably 20 feet of bookshelf between the RPGs, between my fish books, all our, Dragonlance novels.
I've read those.
Yeah, we have so many books. And just, I don't know how we did it. Like we obviously had help. Thank you everyone who came and helped because we would not have done it in time. Like my friend Esri came over like the day that I handed the keys in, and I literally made that key drop off within like minutes of the office closing that day.
Gotcha.
But it was insane, and we didn't want to move. We didn't like moving. We didn't like the reason for moving, and everything was covered in like drywall dust and like mold spores. It was terrible. And due to the quickness that we had to leave, all of my fish are currently being babysat. It's basically, I have no fish right now, which is terrible.
Yeah.
That's the worst part right there.
Yeah. First time in how long?
Oh no.
A long time?
Ooh, at least a decade. Because I think I had a 10-gallon in college. I had a beta fish before then, but like the level of care of the beta fish probably doesn't count.
I understand.
I was too young to do the water changes, so that's not how I can't take credit for that.
Gotcha. So the first time in like 10 years that you didn't have any fish in the house. So what's going now? What's the plan going forward and stuff? Are you guys power save and hope that the housing market shines on us somehow, because It's looking kind of weird with the house prices. Houses are up, but also the rates are good. So like there's got to be some point where it's worth it to go. So we're just saving basically all the money that I make. I'm saving because we basically moved in with John's mother. Gotcha.
So we're rent free right now. We're just putting it in the bank, and hopefully maybe spring I can have a house, and then that means I'll also have a basement, and we all know what happens with basements.
Yes, you have kids and they move down in there and don't ever leave. That's what happens with basements. They'll leave someday. but I don't. I actually I shouldn't say that because I don't want them to leave. I love having my kids here, but I do want to build a fish room when they do finally move away from home. But all right, well, thanks for sharing with that. It's tough that you're everything you're going through, and luckily you've got a lot of friends to help out. But
Thank goodness.
okay, let's go ahead and open it up to the chat. I'm way back at 7:12, so it looks like I'm about 9 minutes behind. Degenerate Fishkeeper, who I don't know if you actually met Jason. Jason lives in Pennsylvania as well. I don't think he's a member of the BCAS.
It depends which Jason. I know a bunch of Jasons that are into fish, so I don't know.
His is spelled a little bit different. There's a couple of S's in there and an E, I believe. Anyways, he is in Pennsylvania. He's one of your statesmen. Somebody lives in Pennsylvania. Like he's a Pennsylvanian. What do you guys call it? Is it?
I don't know. I'm from Massachusetts. I didn't grow up here.
What do they call? Oh, I know what they call Massachusetts people. Never mind.
Massholes.
Yeah. Anyways, Degenerate would like to know if you play video games.
Every once in a while, I will play video games. I have a Steam account. What was the last things that I played?
Do you have any genre or a specific game that calls to you or anything? Or are you big into the RPGs there too?
RPGs and hack and slash.
Yeah. Diablo 2
and
3.
Sword. I will do things with it.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's mine too. Witcher. RPGs are my bread and butter as well. I usually just play on I've got like 500 games on Steam, and I probably played 50 of them. And I play on the Xbox most of the time these days. It's just nice to get out of this room because this is my office. So It's nice to go out in the living room and sit on a couch. And it's on the huge screen, and I don't know. It's a nice break. So he also would like to know the best edition of D&D in your opinion.
Oh, see, like this comes in where I didn't start till later. So I literally missed the earlier edition. So 5e is what I know. I can't really reasonably call it my favorite because I haven't played a whole lot other ones. Like I've played GURPS, I've played like DC Comics, I've played a bunch of different role-playing games, but with the additions of D&D, I missed them. Somewhere along the way, I just missed them, so I can't really compare them.
Yeah. I had the original red and blue box sets, the Dungeons and Dragons and the advanced Dungeons and Dragons when I was a kid. I mean, and I gave them to my kids. My kids are big into D&D too. So one of them has those, I believe. I think they have those. So
yeah, John has like the box set and everything. I think didn't it come with like a crayon that you had to do your own dice with?
One of them had a crayon, but I don't remember what it was for. But I don't think it was both.
It's for putting the numbers on the dice because it only had an indent, so you had to scrape the crayon and get the numbers to pop.
I remember the crayon being in there, but I don't remember what it was for, and I don't remember if it was in both boxes or not. I just remember having the red and the light blue box and advanced. Wow, that was great.
Oh, the latest and greatest.
Let's see. Okay, so I'm looking for questions. And if people would, I see a lot of people already are doing this, but do the @RicoStan, so I can those call out. Zen Ginger would like to know, and hopefully I didn't miss anybody. If you had questions from 7:15, where you see the Zen Ginger there, anything above that, just ask them again for me if you would. But she wants to know your favorite convention or festival, fish or otherwise. Is it? You said Ren Fair, so is it? What's your favorite thing that you've been to?
You know what? Like, I'll start with non-fish just because it's, I don't know, flavors the experience here. The PAX Unplugged keeps happening in Philly. It's a gaming convention.
Yeah.
And it has to do with all the tabletop games. And I believe the next one's in December. So I'm planning on, if I'm free, I'm going to go.
It is. And,
so it's a lot of D&D, it's a lot of Warhammer, probably also that.
These guys will be there. They told me they were going to be there.
All right, well, they will be.
Kaplan Crypto, that's the name of the company, and they're making this, and they'll be there. So if you guys are going to that, check these guys out. They were very cool. It's a father and son team who made it. Again, Keystone Clash. That's where I found out about that.
And the great thing about PAX Unplugged is they will literally have games there for you to try. So you can literally, like, if you're on the fence, or like, I don't know if I want to buy this, they'll just run a game for you. So you can actually just like see how it works, see the mechanics, and be like, oh, this is actually really neat. I want to buy this.
That's a lot of resources. You know, that's a lot of time and energy put into that. Wow, I didn't know
they're
did that.
Huge. Like, yeah, like at the whole convention center and like hundreds of people.
So that's your very favorite one to go to?
You know, besides the Fish Club conventions, which I honestly have not been to a whole lot. Like, I know I help with the Keystone Clash, and that's like really the only one that I go to each year because it's really close. Historically, I've either driven each night or shared a hotel room. Like, this was the first year that I just bought my own. Because prior to working at API, I didn't make a whole lot of money. So that disposable income was not so great. And now again, with saving for the house, I can't do so many. Like, I've seen Aquashella and I see that neon aesthetic and I want it, but I haven't been able to travel out.
Yeah, I get it. I really, this last one especially, all of them, I've a lot of friends that go to them. They've been at, like my buddy Ed, I keep talking about, and James, they went to Orlando and Chicago and Dallas. But the last one, for some reason, was the one that hit me the most. Maybe because Steven was there. I don't know. I don't know what it was, but that was the one I really had that fear of missing out. It wasn't a fear. It was I am missing out. I mean, it was almost depressing how bad I felt like I was missing out on something on the outside looking in, just like,
you see all the pictures, you're like, oh no.
Yeah. All my friends there. All my friends just hanging out and having a great time.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, those friends know those friends.
Yeah.
Like,
don't forget me. Don't forget me.
I'm the only one missing.
What about the Triple Crown coming up? Do you have any plans for that one this next year?
We'll see, because that is really dependent on house. Because if I just get the house, at that point, I'm not going to want to travel immediately because it's going to be too much. But it might be late enough. I don't know. We'll see. Bucks County did sponsor one of the classes, though. So.
Oh, cool.
We tried because Rusty spoke for us, and Rusty's like, I don't want an honorarium. Why don't you consider doing one of these sponsorships? So we did that. Wow. And they're like, this is amazing. Thank you, Rusty.
Yeah, wow. I really liked that talk where he was driving around looking for the,
Oh yeah, he was talking from his car.
Yeah, that was a good talk. I
felt so bad, but I was so grateful.
I don't know how he did it, because the talk didn't feel like this guy sitting in his car somewhere. He did a great job by pulling up all the pictures and showing us all the videos, and he did an amazing job. The guy knows his stuff. That was one of my favorite talks. Yeah, he is. Absolutely. That was one of the favorite talks that I've been to a lot of talks over the last year, different virtual talks like that. And that was probably my favorite one. That's what you get when you join the BCAS, people.
That's right.
All right, let's see. Dee Dee just has a comment. She says, Callie can do tool stuff. Now I know why I like her.
Yeah.
Dee Dee's awesome. Okay. So again, I'm way behind. I'm going to scroll down here. Some people saying hi and stuff. Lot of good links. I appreciate the mods. Again, our mods are the backbone of the community, and I appreciate you guys dropping all the links. Thank you so much. You're doing an amazing job, like you always do. We got we're sharing out Callie's. There we go. Okay, Rick. Oh, it jumped on me right when I got to Ricky. RB Animals. He'd like to know what your favorite movie and TV shows are.
Oh,
Lord of the Rings.
No. Ooh, yeah. Probably, because because I was nerding out about that way back, third grade. I was reading The Hobbit, and once the movies launched, I was watching them on like extended VHS.
Yeah.
And that was just amazing. It was the best thing. Yeah, I like that. What am I watching recently? Doom Patrol. Oh, Doom Patrol's so good.
Oh, Doom Patrol. Yeah. We watched. I think we're actually. Didn't another season come out or something? I think we were
Yeah,
behind.
it's.
Okay.
I think either. I don't know. I just will binge things, so I'm not quite sure where we are. But new content did come out, and I'm not sure if I finished it yet.
I don't
Where
think
I'm
we
at.
have. I think there's a whole season. I like that too. Brendan Fraser, I think, did an amazing job. The girl, what's her? The one that has all the different personalities.
Jane?
Amazing actress there.
Yes.
It's a fun show. I really like it. I think
Just
it's
the right amount of absurd.
Yeah.
Absurd and like a little
fun.
bit of trauma in there. Perfect.
What did we just watch? We just finished. Oh, Teen Titans or Titans. We just finished watching that. That was good. I like that they took it to a much more adult level. I don't know if you've watched that one, but it was pretty gory. Oh yeah, there's a lot of gore. I mean, people's heads blown off and stuff like that. But and a lot of adult topics and things. It wasn't Teen Titans or Titans Go or anything. Like the animated shows. It was good. It was a good series. So,
and that's the most recent one because we watched Titans. We haven't watched the most recent season that just came out.
4 seasons, I think. Maybe. I don't know. I can't even remember. Same with you. We binge everything, so I honestly don't know. There's not a lot of seasons though, and I believe it's 100% done.
Okay.
So those types of shows though, you're big into like the superheroes and the fantasy, sci-fi fantasy is your bread and butter.
And like if I'm bored, I will just search out like bad fantasy on purpose because of course like sometimes you just watch something because it is ridiculous. Like what was it, Hawk the Slayer? Like sometimes you just put something on because you're like, what else am I gonna do? Or like there's a Riff Tracks version and you're like, yes, give me that terrible fantasy. I love
what was that one came out not that long ago? Oh my gosh, it was just a total parody. It was drawing a blank on his name. He was he's been in so many things. He was in Pineapple Express with oh my god, what's his name?
Is it Seth Rogen?
No, he wasn't the main character. He was the guy who was indestructible in Pineapple Express. He got shot so many times. Remember, he just got beat. I mean, he just got destroyed. He's also Eastbound and Down. I think he was in that. He was in. Oh, somebody in the chat's going to know. By the time we get there, though, we'll forget what the hell we're talking about because we are a good 10 minutes behind in the chat. All right, so let me keep going. So basically, that's your thing, though, is the sci-fi and the fantasy stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see. Crown Tail Half Moon says, could you hold on? Could you ask Callie? Okay, here we go. Does the BCAS have any information on breeding tetras? I don't think
probably not directly, but if you join the Facebook group and ask, someone will answer. Someone will answer you and give you their opinion. And that's the great part about the social media aspect is everyone has an opinion. In a hobby where trial and error is the norm, that's perfect.
Yeah. And gather lots of opinions because they're not all weighted the same.
Yeah, they're not going to be the same. It's not necessarily that one person is right or wrong. There are just more variables than you can actually account for sometimes. So different approaches will work in different situations. You may not understand exactly why, but it's helpful to have that like diversity of thought to get you past the finish line of breeding the fish.
Okay. All right. Let's see. We're down to Chris Robertson says, have you ever tried the SCA? You already have plate armor. Society for Creative Anachronism.
So I haven't yet. And part of that is, I don't know. Like, I'd have to go places with the armor, and it's a little hard to transport that. I don't know. Like, I would do it if it was local to me. Yeah, it's just something that I
Is
haven't done
that
yet.
sort of like LARPing as well? The
I
SCA
guess.
or
I think it's like the club of that like genre of stuff.
okay. I have to look that up. Not that I've
It
ever
might
done
have
any of
some
that kind of
like sword fighting stuff. I did just get a sword, so we'll see. Is the last time I was at the Ren Fair, I was like, I don't have a sword, and I went up to the you know the sword place,
yeah.
and I was like looking at them, and I was like,
Did they have a
this
forge
isn't.
there?
I'm not
Ours
sure.
does. We have a permanent location.
There's two different things. Like one's like the gallery of stuff, and they may not be done on site, and then there's like one that's for show that does the shows, and it's done there.
Yeah.
But I went up and I was like, "This one's a pretty sword, isn't it? Do you have anything that can actually take impact?" And he's like, "Wait a moment." And he went up the ladder. He went digging. And it was like, this is the one they use for the jousts. And I was like, done. So now I have a sword I can actually use. So maybe now's the time. I don't know. Someone come at me with a sword. We'll see what happens.
That's funny. Now I have a sword I can actually use.
Mm-hmm.
That's the quote of the night right there.
As opposed to my other ones. I have like a letter opener. I guess that counts. It's like a tiny sword. You can't use that.
I had a friend when I have one right here.
Haha.
The Princess Bride one. It's modeled after that. I had a friend when I was younger who his neighbor was he hated his neighbor, and it was a younger kid, same age as him, throwing rocks at his dog, and my buddy Daryl went over with his samurai sword and cut the guy's shoe off when the guy tried to kick him, and he cut his shoe off. So I do know people with swords, have sword will travel. Lady Metalhead would like to know your favorite hobby. Out of the hobbies that you talked about the most, what's your favorite one?
I mean, I think it would still have to be fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not necessarily about fish keeping. It is about the people. And I like the fish people the most.
Yeah. I'm with
like
you.
All my other hobbies, like resin, whatever, I don't know anyone that I do resin craft with. I don't know. I go on YouTube, I find the exact thing that I'm looking for and I do it. And I don't interact with people.
Yeah.
But fish stuff, like, that's fish fam, right? Like, those are the people.
I'm with you. 100%. 100%. My level of enjoyment in any hobby is usually based on who I'm doing it with, or, and the fish fam has been so welcoming and has made it. I agree with you 100%. It's definitely about the people. It's an amazing group of people, and I appreciate the hell out of them. I tell them all the time, and hopefully they know that I'm sincere in that, but they've made my life better. Dee Dee says, I plan to go to the Clash next year and hope to meet Callie as well as everyone else. I'm a hugger, so you all better watch out. There's a lot of huggers.
It should be good by then, I think. Let's hope.
Hopefully,
yeah. We'll be good by then.
Yeah, hopefully. Vaccinations, people, vaccinations. Sorry, didn't say that. And Ricky would like to know, what's your favorite superhero?
Oh, so it used to be Batman. I was really into Batman.
You just made him very happy. He's a big Batman fan.
But then I was like, does Batman pay taxes? And then it ruined it for me.
Does Batman pay taxes?
I don't know.
That's a good question. He's super rich, so he probably
I still like Batman
has ways around.
But I don't know. I'm still taking suggestions for like best superhero. I do like my strong woman, like Wonder Woman and stuff. I do get into comics sometimes. I'm starting to get into Red Sonja, so
nice.
I don't know if she counts, but
sure. I think so. Gail Simone's run on that is really good. I like that one the most. Other people have done it, but she was my favorite writer. I like her a lot. I do like comic books. I read not as much as I used to because of the fish hobby, but my favorite's a guy named Atomic Robo. He's a robot that was made by Nikola Tesla, and he uses a gun and wears shorts, and he's funny as hell. So
Excellent.
I absolutely love him. He's fought Nazis, and he's fought just all kinds of aliens, and his main nemesis is Dr. Dinosaur. It's a dinosaur who wears a fedora and smokes a pipe as his costume, and it's ridiculous. And I just absolutely love it. I'm not a prude by any means, but it's very family friendly, and I would not hesitate to give it to a 6-year-old. I mean,
That's
any
good. It's
any
good to have
level.
like those ones that you know that are safe.
Exactly.
Because then you don't like recommend it and then think about it later and go, ooh.
Yeah,
what have
forgot
I
about
done?
that scene. And I
Oops.
like those. Don't get me wrong. Again, I enjoy that kind of content as well, very much. But it's just nice. Okay. Jeremy has a comment for you. Oh, and everybody was saying Danny McBride. Yes. And people, if you would, again, I've just been skipping through because I am so far behind. Do the @Rico stand for me if you got a comment or anything. Those are the ones that I'm sort of skipping through and not getting the other comments. Danny McBride is the actor that I was talking about before. He's in a really, really silly fantasy movie, and I can't remember. It's like the Knights of Kick-Ass or something like that.
Oh, what is it?
Yeah, you know what I'm
Knights
talking
of
about, right?
Badassdom?
That's it. That's the one.
It is amazing. I love that movie.
That's the
not
one.
a bad movie. That's an excellent movie.
No, did I say bad? I meant like.
Well, we're talking about like terrible fantasy.
Oh, gotcha.
It fits the bill, but like it is amazing.
It's meant to be campy on purpose. It's like
Yes.
like the later Sharknadoes where they know it's just crazy.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah,
They double
it's
down,
on
and
purpose.
it's excellent.
But Jeremy says, did I say that one? If we got to call API, can we request the Fish Fam Super Nerd?
I mean, you can try. I don't know what happened. They probably like Fish Nerd, Callie. What is this?
All right, so skipping down. John McKenzie said the Princess Bride was Rico Stan's nickname in college. That's my running joke. Anytime somebody says something that sounds a little bit inappropriate, I say, oh yeah, that was my nickname in college. Like the very first one I used it on was somebody said something about a hairy chocolate kiss. They found and I said hairy chocolate kiss was my nickname in college, and that it's just been a thing since then. So and Crowntel, I am going to ask this question, but most of the time we try to keep the questions not so much about advice on fish and stuff, but more personal, more about the person themselves. Not that I don't want anybody to ask those kind of questions, but just so you know, we try to minimize the how do you do type of things. How do you do these things, and keep it a little more personal. But Crowntail would like to know if you've had any advice, any experiences culturing brine shrimp to adults.
All right, sea monkeys. Here we go. So the secret is calcium. Because I've literally used just aquarium salt that has no hardness, no nothing in it, and just added liquid calcium and like baking soda for the KH, and that'll get you there. You just have to have the right ratio. So salt, baking soda, and calcium, you should be pretty good, because you can actually hatch them with just salt and baking soda, but they will die. they will not last long, but that's usually enough to feed them out. But if you want to actually have them go, you got to look at those minerals. Like
and what's really the positive about getting the brine shrimps to adults? I mean, I know that the baby brine has a lot more protein, right? They've got that egg sac and stuff. So what would be the purpose of getting them to adulthood, as far as feeding?
Enrichment. Like anyone who grows them up to adults, they're not looking for the nutrition. There's no nutritional value there.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's just about being happy that your fish is chasing something and feeling that your fish is then happy too.
Okay. So it's more about honing their hunting skills than anything else.
Seeing that natural behavior is oftentimes fun.
So Chris Robertson says at the SC is more like living history instead of LARPing. It's actual historical research skills, fighting, and the like. a lot of SCA members go on to do Renfest as well. Gotcha. Okay.
All
So
right.
it's okay. Gotcha. It's LARPing on steroids. It's I get you. It's not just for fun. People are actually learning how they did stuff. Degenerate says Batman is subsidized by a taxpayer. Screw Batman. Wayne Foundation is clearly a tax evasion. Diego dropping links. He's got a website. You get a 25% off there. Very cool. All right. Again, just scrolling past. Anybody got hit the at Rico Stan if you would for me to see the thing. MedCow, who I was also at the Keystone Clash. How much is membership? I'm only 15 minutes from the Nature Center.
I think it's only $20. Pretty sure.
Yeah, or was it 20? I honestly don't remember now. It wasn't that long ago. I thought it was 25 or 30. Maybe it was only 20.
Was it 30 for?
Again,
it might be 30 for a family. It is on the website.
Yes.
bcasonline.com.
And hopefully they've already dropped the links. If not, if we would please for the Bucks County Aquarium Society, if the mods would drop the links for those. And again, I joined it right after coming back from the Keystone Clash, and I felt like I've got my money's worth already. I really did. I felt like I've already gotten definitely my money's worth out of it. Let's see, Ricky. Favorite type of D&D character? What do you play the most?
Oh, I like the fighters. I'm on like a bard kick right now, but fighters are usually, I want to be the tank. Like I always want to be the tank. That's just what I do. I want to have all the armor and I want to hit stuff, and that is my main pleasure in playing D&D. But I have been branching out. I've challenged myself, and I am trying to do better. So I've had a few bards. I think I made a paladin. I made a centaur paladin. I was like, it has to be weird some way. So I'm trying that too. We'll see. I have another game Wednesday. So yeah, barbarians are great.
That's what I almost always played, barbarians, or once in a while a cleric, but almost always a barbarian. That's just me. Lady Metalhead would like to know if you watch any sports, and if you've got a favorite team or sport. No sports at all. Okay.
I don't sport. That's one of the few things that I'm just like, no sport ball. I understand that people like it and it's great, but I don't. I watch other things. Also, I haven't had cable historically, like I do now, but
And Alishan, remind Callie that she also went to the NEC convention.
I did. That was a while back in Connecticut.
And I did go to your virtual one. You did a very good job there. You, to me, were a highlight of that. Because I also felt like
I had to stall for time.
Well, because you managed the chat and stuff, because I really felt like an outsider at that event. Again, it was virtual, and that's probably a big reason why. But I felt like I walked into a room where everybody knew each other, and everybody was talking to each other, and nobody was saying hi to the new people, or, I would ask a question and Dee would miss it all the time and stuff. And it wasn't super busy. I just felt like it was getting overlooked because I wasn't somebody that anybody knew. And maybe that was just my perception. I'm, 100% could have just been that. But you did a good job, I thought, of sort of managing the chats as best you could and keeping things going and getting all the different speakers up and stuff.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that overall. I just felt a little out of place. That's all. And that's probably, like I said, it's probably just on my side.
It went pretty well, all things considered, because that was the first time they did the online, and basically they brought me on. And they're like, "We see that you've been doing this with Bucks County. Could you help us with this?" And I was like, "All right, who I am is an enabler with anything. Like that is who I am." Which is why we're talking about me, but actually talking about everything else. I will help you do the thing that you want to do. So I was happy to help with that. I'm not I'm sure they're going to have another NEC convention. I'm not sure if this one's going to be virtual too. Someone's probably going to tap on my shoulder at some point. Unless Dee's doing it this year, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. It's a good time. I enjoyed it.
Does that move around, or where does it usually take place when it's not virtual? Is there any one place?
In Connecticut, because it's the Northeast Council, so it's New England roughly, and it's just been in Connecticut.
Okay.
Recently, like I've only been a part of it like the last few years, so I'm not quite sure if they've ever moved around. But it seems to be like, where you have the most board members can reach is the big thing. They did have an in-person like auction pickup, and they had different locations. So one of the locations was still Connecticut, but they had a few like auxiliary places that you could pick up your fish.
Yeah, if you won them. No, Albany was one. Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully they do that again. That's cool.
I'd like to go. I mean, that's not too far. So if they do a in-person one, then I definitely will go to that one as well. So I guess I'll add that to the list. Triple Crown, Keystone Clash is number one. No matter what, Keystone Clash is happening. Triple Crown is. I mean, I've bought my tickets already, just not the room, and then the NEC as well. Okay, here's one from Crowntel. Do you have any like major Thanksgiving or Christmas traditions?
Not really.
And real quick,
it's boring. Like I don't even know what I'm doing this year. I really don't. Some years, like I will travel to see family, but last year I didn't because this year I had Christmas in July because pandemic.
Yeah.
So we'll see what we plan. There's nothing really like that I do each year, except for eat turkey. I mean, gravy is my favorite food, so there's gonna be turkey. I'm already into like the Wawa turkey bowls, so.
So no like opening presents on Christmas Eve or any of that kind of stuff like when you were a kid, or I mean, did you have any of those types of traditions? And before you answer that, we're already an hour and a half in. Are you okay with time? Or you?
Oh yeah, okay. This is fine.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
I mean, not really. Like John and I just we're on the same level. Is like if we know what we want, we'll ask for it. And like sometimes it's like a week before Christmas, and we're just like, hey, open this. Because you just want to see them enjoy it.
Yeah.
So it's like it's hard to wait. And like last year, I made him a computer, and I was like, it's a month ahead. Please just use this because I just spent a lot of money and time like figuring out how to put it together. So here you go.
Was that your first one putting together?
No, I helped my ex build a few, but it was my first by myself. So first that way.
And you made it for him.
And I made it for him because I love him and he deserves nice things. So I made him a nice thing because the Total War Warhammer was getting laggy, and we can't have that. We just can't have
that. Let's see. So Eric Wyrock, what's going on? He favorite sandwich. You said gravy's your favorite food. That was actually I was going to ask you that. But do you like sandwiches, and do you have a favorite type?
All right. So this is going to be hilarious. This sandwich that I did not get to eat before I came out here.
Oh no!
Is a primo hoagie. It is a turkey primo hoagie with like the oil and the goodness. I like that sandwich.
There you go.
Specifically that one.
That sucks. You didn't get to eat dinner.
It's all right.
I didn't either.
I'll eventually eat it.
My youngest son's last day of work was yesterday, so he's going to go back to cooking for us. He loves to cook, and he made a white lasagna tonight that it's so cheesy. There's so much cheese on it. It looks delicious, but it was done 5 minutes before I started up the stream, so I wasn't. Otherwise, I would have probably white
smell the garlic.
I can smell it right now. It smells delicious.
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay, so scrolling down again, I'm at 7:52 my time, Eastern time, and I'm looking for the @Rico Stan, and there we go. There's Lady Metalhead again. Hey there. Favorite glutinous food? One unhealthy thing that you just can't stop eating, like your guilty
Glutinous
pleasure.
food. Like, I'm not gluten intolerant, so I'm like not fully aware of which ones are the most glutinous.
Yeah. I think the second part, one unhealthy thing that you just can't help eating, something that you know isn't good for you, but you can't stay away from. Sweet tooth or
So I don't go for the sweets too much. I mean, I'll get into chocolate because of course, but I really just like, you know what? It's stupid, but it's probably just like instant noodles. Like I should not eat the amount of instant noodles that I eat, but I can't help it. They're cheap and
gotcha.
they're good. So I make sure I take my vitamins because otherwise I would probably be deficient in a few things.
You know, we were just talking about that, my son and I today. We had to stop at the store, and I was telling him that something was my guilty pleasure that I knew was horrible for me, that I just absolutely loved it. I don't remember what it was, man. Let's see. So, oh, gotcha, Jenna P. So again, we talked about the Triple Crown, and I made mention that I'm thinking about doing the whole house Airbnb, and then I said, well, Jenna and Steven, a couple with kids, I think we're gonna share a house. We'll save some money, and my wife is not interested in the convention at all, so she could probably babysit a little bit. They don't have babies, but they have young kids. So it'll be fun
Down
for
the fort.
her. And I sort of, threw her under the bus that way. I didn't even ask her yet. I just sort of assumed she'd want to, because she's dying to have grandkids. If my kids are watching, your mother wants grandkids. Lady Metalhead again. She's got great questions. Number one thing on your bucket list?
I want to get back to Brazil. So I went to Brazil twice, and both times it was before I got heavy into the fish hobby. And I'm so mad because I was literally walking through the puddles that probably had neon tetras and just like didn't know to look. And it irks my soul. I need to go back.
Gotcha. I've never been to South America. Okay. We're actually at the bottom of the chat. And Ricky would like to know if you have a go-to drink.
Go-to drink.
Alcoholic or otherwise?
I like the, what is it? Allagash White for beers.
Never
like that. That is my favorite beer.
Local Pennsylvania, obviously. Allagash, right?
Is that Allagash might be Maine.
Oh, is it? Why did I think that? Maybe I'm thinking Allegheny.
Yes. But I like that. What did I have recently? I just had like Red's Apple Ale, and that was pretty good. It's like drinking apple juice, but you get a buzz from it, which is pretty cool. I like apple juice, so
yeah,
that works too.
This is apple country. We live in the middle of there's apple orchards all around us, and hard cider everywhere you go. There's all these little places to stop, and just amazing hard ciders and stuff. It's a cool place to live. Oh yeah, Paul Sotera said Allagash is Maine, so I was getting it confused with Allegheny. And we're at the bottom of the chat. If anybody has any questions, now's a good time to throw them up there. We already asked you if there's anything else that you want to talk about. The next, when is the next Bucks County Aquarium Society? You said it's
always the first Thursday. So
Okay.
First Thursday of the month. So let's see. It's gonna be December 2nd, and it's coming up. And we'll see, because normally what we do for the December is like a mashup of member presentations. So we'll see if we're able to do that or have more like a social thing. I am going to try and hit up the Nature Center on Friday to see if we could possibly stream from there. They didn't used to have internet, but with the pandemic, I think they got it in. And if so, if we can do something in person and then also stream it, that would be ideal. I just gotta get there and find out before I make any promises that I
Gotcha.
can't take back.
So this one, instead of having an outside speaker, will be somebody. It'll be members talking.
Usually, yeah.
Okay.
We've had a bunch of neat like presentations. Like one year, someone did like a short talk about breeding sea urchins. Susie Q did one on like is it like live substrate for like reptile enclosures and doing that. I had some sort of remote controlled water exchange system that I presented sometime and helped Tom enable. So Tom has a nice water pump because he was doing all the buckets. So now he has a pump that he switches around to empty those buckets instead of lifting them because no one needs to lift buckets. There are easier ways.
I still do, but I only have 11 tanks, and 2 of them are little 5-gallon, so I don't have like a ton of tanks. So it's not that difficult. I usually do a couple a day, just to split them up, and it doesn't take long. So I do when I do an actual fish room. I'm going to move to automated. I think.
Yeah, it's the way to go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I like the idea of messing with your tank. The water change forces you to be there.
Actually see your fish.
Yeah, but there's reasons. I have reasons why doing an auto change system is going to be good for me. So they're coming up. That's on December 2nd, you said. And when are we going to play D&D? That's coming up soon too.
Okay, I mean, there's PAX, and I will be at PAX, and I can poke John again and see when he's free too.
And I get it. If you've got 4 games going on, I don't want to insert our group into it, but I do know a bunch of people that would love to play. You could probably get at least 6 to 12 people.
Oh my God, that's so many.
Okay, so we got what's your favorite season? Again, from Miss Metalhead.
Oh, I like hoodie weather. So like the fall where you can just like go outside with a hoodie and be like a little toasty in your hoodie, but like the wind hits your face and you're like, yeah, fall. Yeah. This is great.
Yeah. I'm with you.
I like spring so much. It's like mud season.
Yeah, I'm with you. I love the fall. The bonfires and stuff. I looked over here because that's the window. That's the backyard. So that's where the bonfires
are. That weirdly direction is the fire, I remember.
Yeah. Eric Wyrock, I think that's actually for me, but maybe for you as well. Which apple do you prefer to eat, Fuji or Honey Crisp?
I don't really care as long as it's made into apple crisp. No. Apple crisp is what I will eat. I won't generally eat the apple itself.
Yeah.
I will take the apple and hand it to my mother and be like, apple crisp, please. She'll do her magic and it'll be delicious.
I think I would. I don't know. That'd be a tough choice. Fuji, maybe. Bunny Viper would like to know if you collect dragons. Hi, Bunny Viper.
I do. So I have. Oh my goodness, how many do I have? Probably like 30-ish, just like dragon figurines and like pewter dragons. They're all in storage right now, so I can't show you any of them, but yeah, a large number of dragons. I have not stopped. Dragons and dragon art.
That probably hurts as much as not having the fish, as not having your dragons out and viewable.
Yeah, it's pretty hard, but I also put there's a dragon that way and a dragon that way just for like art on the wall. So like I have like a little bit, like just a little taste, but none of like my figurines are out. So
Terry's Tropical Tanks would like to know if I told, this is what movie is this from? This is the quote. If I told the big lummox that this bag would be empty as his head. If I told the big lummox that this bag would be empty as his head. Does that quote sound familiar?
I'm not going to pull it out. Like I'm very bad at like direct memorization. So I don't know. What's it from?
It's familiar, but I'm not sure. Terry will tell us.
I hope so, because otherwise it's going to bug me and I'm going to Google it.
This bag would be as empty if I told. Man, Anyways,
I've probably seen it, but like, I don't
yeah,
know.
I bet you it's one we either talked about or one he knows is within, you know, the fantasy that you like, and I'm sure we'll see it down below here when I get down there. Um, Mystery Snail Guardians, favorite snail. She's very big into snails.
Oh,
Obviously, Mystery Snail Guardians. She's the guardian of the mystery snails.
hmm. So, you know what? Like, I haven't gotten too much into snails, but there was one time where I got into a kick with breeding ram's horns for color.
Hmm.
And I thought like the powder blue colored ram's horn were like the best thing ever because they looked like little blueberries. And I thought that was quite neat. And then I had too many and I had to stop.
Yeah,
And that's
like the
usually
ram's
how
horn.
snails go.
When they get good sized. Yeah, I was seeing if there was some here next to me. I have a bunch in this other tank up here, and there's some good sized ones. Yeah, and the blue ones are my favorite too. They are a nice color, and I never made that connection with the blueberry before. Let's see. Ricky would like to know what's your favorite dessert. Is it the apple crisp?
Favorite? It might be. What else do I like? Oh, you know what? Cannolis, though. Cannolis are pretty great. I would eat a lot of cannolis. Cannolis and like chocolate pudding pies.
Oh yeah.
Those are top of the list.
Banana is the best dessert flavor, and that's not even up for a question. And anybody disagrees with me can go up them themselves.
I just got a delightful like banana flavored candy at the local H Mart. And I have no idea what it's called, but it's like banana milkshake something or other. I'll have to send you a picture of it so you can get them.
My kids are always looking out for banana stuff for me like that. Those little candies or different desserts from different places, you know, Japan or wherever. And
yeah,
I do like banana flavored stuff. Let's see. Zenny says, have you made any dragons with your 3D printing?
not yet, because unfortunately I had to pack up the 3D printers. But honestly, I don't think that I would with these because they are the large filament based printers.
Yeah.
I would have to get a resin printer to be happy with it. For right now, if I was going to make a dragon, I would sculpt it because I've been getting into sculpting things like the necklace with the isopod. I sculpted the isopod. So I've been sculpting little things here and there. So at some point, I'm going to have to sculpt a dragon. That's just
nice.
Inevitable.
It's in your future. I feel like I did do a dragon. And I don't make the models. I get, you know, like Thaneverse or go to one of the websites and just download the models and do the slicing and stuff. But I did make this guy, and you know, I got him. I printed him. So that's nice. I do have quite a few of these little. That's what I did. That's what I did. That's all I did with my 3D printer. I did make a bunch of those. You know, the extenders we were talking about for the masks.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter asked me for some of those. Both her and my wife work in healthcare, and they asked for some of those. So I made up a bunch of those, but that was it. Everything else I made was basically something like that. That's all I used it for.
You gotta find your joy. Like if that's what you enjoy, like it's amazing.
And I don't need this kind of stuff. I have too much crap already. I don't need it.
So you gotta start selling it, right? Because that's the problem that I have is I keep making all these trinkets. And then I don't know what to do with it. I literally hid one. Well, I didn't hide it, but I just like handed one of these to one of John's friends the other day. I was like, here, have a crab. And just like, John said you needed the first crab, so here's a crab. Like, I'll just give it away.
But see, now you make things that are very crafty, and I could see you selling those. That's why I mentioned the Etsy store. But this, I feel like anybody could go get this, and it's very, very easy. You go get the model. You just have to learn how to slice it, which is easy. There's nothing to it. I don't feel like I wouldn't feel right selling stuff like that.
What you got to do is what I just did with like the crab, right? You got to inflict it on other people. Like you don't have to, don't say anything. You got to start leaving these things in other people's houses.
There you go.
That is the power move of just.
But that would entail me leaving
crab.
the house. I don't leave the house. You're making me do stuff now.
Eventually. Or have other people do it. You can have minions. It's fine to have minions.
Ooh, there we go.
Great.
I'd like to have some minions. Freaky Fish Lady, what's up, Holly? She just said, yep, and the chat jumped. She said that she made something. There it is. Oh, she just finished a Dragon Journal cover out of polymer clay. Very cool. Very cool.
Did you post it to one of the like peculiar art groups? Because I feel like I saw it.
Huh. On Facebook?
Yeah, someone recently on Facebook posted a notebook with a dragon cover, and it was purple and iridescent with an eye on it. And I'm curious if I happen to see this person's art, because it's
let us know, Holly. Let us know. And Terry said before he just made a typo in that. So the quote was, "If I told the big lummox that this bag would be as empty as his head, the dwarf said that to the giant from Hawk the Slayer."
Oh, yes.
He's a fan of the movie.
I wasn't gonna. Yeah, that movie was.
Fan of the movie.
Crazy.
Let's see. There's KJE Aquatics. I don't know if you know Keith, but he's a New Yorker, and he's sort of between our areas. He's sort of right in the middle between our two areas.
I feel like I've seen him around. I don't know if he knows
KJE Aquatics goes to a lot of the events and stuff too. He wasn't at the Keystone Clash this year, but he does a lot of. In fact, I met him at the CNY AS Fish Swap that I went to. That's where I joined the group and stuff. It was the only one I went to. Zen Ginger. She said, "I'm a basic bitch. Cheesecake is my favorite."
Oh, cheesecake's so good though. Yeah, like the cannoli is basically cheese. Like they're very, very similar.
Kelly Foreman. Kelly Foreman used to be a really good friend of mine. She like sent me plants, and she sent my daughter plants. I mean, and she just said she really dislikes banana flavored everything.
Can't be friends now.
I don't even know what to say, Kelly. I feel like my world is crashing down around me.
That really hurts.
You have a good thing going, Kelly. All right, looking for the Rico stands again. We're going to shut it down here pretty soon. We're 15 minutes over the hour and a half. You know what? Let's make it. How about we'll go till 8:30? How's that sound? That's another 15 minutes. That'll give us a 2-hour. And
you like even numbers, don't you? Because you're like, I need to.
Sometimes I don't care, and other times it's got to be exactly right. It's got to be exactly right.
If you notice it, then it has to be. Like that's the key right there. Sometimes you're just like, I'll just end right now. This is fine. But other times you're like, I'm close to the time.
My acupuncturist told me too. Now she's really big into a lot of Eastern medicine and things like that. And she told me anytime you see a time that's like consecutive numbers, like 1234, 1, 2, 3, 4, you're supposed to announce it in your head. You know, hey, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's supposed to do something. I don't remember what, but anytime you see consecutive numbers like that in a time, you're supposed to acknowledge it in some way to yourself, and it's supposed to do something. I don't know
what it was like an OCD thing, because I'll do that with like the microwave. I'll be like 2, 3, 4, like it has to.
I don't know.
I don't think normal people are supposed to do that.
She was a very good acupuncturist. I did and enjoy her sticking stuff in me.
We'll leave that there.
Medcal said banana runts are the best. I haven't had banana runts, I don't think.
What?
Yeah, I don't think I have.
That's the best runt flavor. And like people are oddly like polarized about it. People either hate or love those runts.
You know, I'm sure I had. So there's like they're fruit ones, right? There's a bunch of different fruits in the runts.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sure I have
apples and limes or something.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever actually tasted them. Which I must have at some point. I'm sure the kids caught them when they were trick or treating or something. But I honestly don't remember ever consuming that. Let's see. We got another one from Lady Metalhead. And again, everybody coming in saying hi and stuff. Hey, everybody, I appreciate you. We still got almost 60 people watching. Appreciate that. If you'd like to ask a question of Callie, please, or just get my attention because I'm skipping through the chat. Do the @RicoStan so it highlights for me so I can see it. And where did it go? I just had one for you. Oh, here it is. Okay. Okay, this is a good one. Do you have any bad habits that annoy your friends, family, or coworkers? Is there anything about you that you know annoys other people besides John? He doesn't count.
So, like, with the pandemic, I'm like in my own little corner at work. So, like, I would have to try very, very hard to be so annoying that people like the next room's over would hear me. I
Gotcha.
don't know. I do have like super customer service voice, so I don't know if that's annoying or not. Like, I'm super upbeat and happy. Like, I've had club members call before, and I don't think they knew it was me. Because they're like, is this the same person? Who is this? But yeah, if I do annoy people, they haven't told me yet. Which is,
Gotcha.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
Yeah. So there's
Who
nothing
knows?
that you're aware of. And
Right.
as far as I know, Alishon's the only person in the chat who knows you from the club. I haven't seen like Susie Q or anybody else who maybe knew you better. So Alishon, if you've got something for us, don't
If you've got
hesitate.
dirt,
Now's the time.
now's the
Now's the
time.
time. Now's the time to call Callie out on some
We
bad
really
behavior.
need to run this into the ground. So anything you can share.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. So I'm scrolling down. A lot of talk about there's KGE says near Albany. Okay. Yep, he's from near Albany. Not seeing any more questions. Oh, here we go. Here's a couple down here. And Ricky would like to know if you've got a favorite type of dragon.
Oh, so I am like the worst kind of like picky person about dragons. Oh, hold on, we got some background noise. I don't know, you're gonna probably see them in the corner as they round. But yeah, with the dragons, I like the kind of European style. They have to have 4 legs. That's non-negotiable. They have to have 4 legs and 2 wings. And yeah, like frills are okay, spikes are okay, but if they don't have 4 legs, it's a wyvern.
Gotcha.
You can't have that.
Not the more snaky style, but the fatter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I was disappointed. I was looking for the people to walk around the corner. I was going to say, hey, come here, you.
You can kind of see their arms like over here, but if you couldn't hear them, that's good because I don't know what the acoustics are in this room. Like this is a 12 by 12 square, and like I don't have a whole lot of room here, so this is where I hang out.
Got you. Well, that's this room.
It is what it is.
It's a 12 by 12 as well, and it is filled. You can't see all of it. I mean, you see quite a bit of it. This room is just absolutely filled. And this right here, this is a thermometer.
I like those.
It's not what other people think it is. It's a thermometer.
Right. What is it? It's a Galileo thermometer?
Yes.
Yeah. I know things sometimes.
Yeah. I collect different barometers and meteorology stuff.
That's cool. I like things that work through physics instead of electronics. They're neat for some reason.
Yeah. My wife even years ago, she made me a barometer out of a piece of her hair because as the moisture, as things dry out or as it gets wet, the hair would shrink or loosen up based on that. So it was real simple. It was a piece of wood with a nail on the top, and then the piece of hair, and there was a nail over here with just a little triangle she cut out of plastic, and the hair was attached to the end of that triangle. So as it would shrink, it would move up and down just enough to generate a barometer for that.
That's pretty cool.
I totally drew a blank there. Okay. Alishon would like to know if Jackie has the tank up and running.
Oh, so Jackie just got a new aquarium. I think it's 180 gallons, but it arrived on, is it Wednesday? I think last Wednesday. So it arrived palletized in this big box that said it was 1,000 pounds.
Wow.
And we proceeded to take the box apart. And naturally, I made shelving out of the wood. But also, we got the tank in. It's not up and running just yet. We're waiting on the casters to show up, which I think come in this week as well. So not filling it until it has wheels on it, because we want to make sure we can move it ever again.
And did Susie Q get both of those tanks? You guys had tanks that were being rehomed.
I'm not sure yet.
Okay. She was
going
going to.
Yeah, I think she's feeling a little under the weather right now.
Yes, she is. Yeah.
So when she's feeling okay, I think I did volunteer to help. So again, I'm an enabler. I will I will help. I think she's for certain getting at least one of them. That was cool. One, I think. That was cool to see. But yeah, people for it's I don't know if it's a season or something, but we've gotten 2 180s through the club for free in the last month or so. There's another 75 that I haven't even told anyone yet that just popped up today. There's free tanks. So people
I wish I lived closer.
Yeah.
Wish I lived closer. Lady Metalhead would like to know if you have any superstitions.
Superstitions? I don't think so. Not really. I'm not like a superstitious person, or like even like a very religious person. I just kind of exist and I do my thing. Gotcha. I used to do the thing like when I was a child, maybe used to like hold your breath through the cemetery or whatever. But like beyond that, I don't think I've gotten anything else.
I just like to say that Matt Liquid Zoo, those opinions are his own and not indicative of anything that we believe here on the channel. He especially said once he's monetized, he can get a haircut and shave.
Oh dear.
What just happened there? That was weird.
What did it?
Okay.
Glitch for a second.
Yeah, that was very cute. All right. Anyways, let's see. Freaky Fish Lady wanted to know about your necklace again. She did come in a little bit late. Do you want to show that off again real quick?
Oh, sure.
Oh, and while you're doing that, Terry would like to hear your customer service voice. So we're gonna put you up on the big screen too.
What do you want me to say with it?
Maybe just the normal, thank you for calling type thing, or hopefully that solved your issue type thing. Very cool.
See, now I'm like overthinking it. Like, have you ever like started breathing on manual?
Yep. Yeah.
Let's see. Thank you for calling. No, I can't. It's
it's too hard.
Spot. Yeah. I would have to like look at the wall and not stare at people.
It's like sometimes you do an impression just joking around and it's perfect, and then you try to do that impression again and it just doesn't sound anything like it.
It's gone. Yeah, like when I used to babysit my little cousins, I would do like one-offs, so like stupid monster voices, and they would love it and like ask for every 3 seconds. And like after a while, I'm like, I'm not even sure if I'm doing it right. Like where are these voices coming from?
Let's see. A Rally Cat 731, which I'm not sure if I know the name, but they said tell Callie.
So Callie she just got the tank.
Oh, I do know that name then, because she's asked me if who I was in the chat to make sure that I was right. Isn't Jackie in charge of something with the club? Is that what I'm thinking of?
Well, she is a member at large, which means she comes to board meetings and helps us make decisions, which is
She's
great.
Not who I was thinking of then. I apologize, Jackie. But welcome anyways.
But yeah, she just got the new tank, which is good because the last one we had an incident with. She had a 220 previously, and she did all her homework, had everything perfect, picked up all like the hardscape and everything. And then I went to her house one weekend and we did it up nice, like top tier aquascape, looked absolutely spectacular. We went to go get some fish and some supplies. came back and the stand had broken.
Oh.
Luckily, it wasn't shattered, but literally the tank was leaning against the wall because the back had blown out. Yeah, it was one terrifying, but also terrible because we just spent the whole day like making it perfect. So
yeah. Oh, that's
we'll do it
heartbreaking.
again.
That's heartbreaking. Hey, Jess came in, and Susie Q, Alishon told us, has the Rona, in case people don't know. Yeah, so whatever you do.
I wasn't gonna out her.
Yeah, she mentioned it before.
Okay.
I believe it was her that mentioned it before. But whatever you do, send some positive thoughts her way, whatever that is, please. Everybody knows Susie Q, and she's a well-loved member of the Fish Fam. Rally Cat would like to know if Flesh Hawk will be classified as a dragon. Flesh Hawk? I don't know if I want to know.
Flesh Hawk is not a dragon. Thank you very much. We do not know what Flesh Hawk was. Flesh Hawk is something I wrote on one of the Cards Against Humanity blank cards.
Oh, okay.
We were drinking a lot, so I didn't even remember doing that. But the next morning when we woke up, there was this card that just said Flesh Hawk, and I think I drew the little hawk too. But I have no idea what it's referencing. I have no idea where it came from or what we said to get there. But Flesh Hawk is now a thing.
I think you can buy those at the finer adult bookstores in your area. Get a Flesh Hawk today.
Oh, goodness.
Let's see. That's not a rectal thermometer, right? What's up, Chris? He was asking if this was a rectal thermometer. If you want it to be, anything's a rectal thermometer if you're brave enough.
Oh, God.
We're getting in there. We got 4 minutes left. There we go. And other people are saying the same thing. Not going to lie, from this angle, it looks like something else. That's why I pointed out, just because I had mentioned the mess.
Look at this object that is definitely not a sex toy. Look at this.
It's nothing what you think it is. It's
It's definitely not.
It's got the temperatures on it. So that says it's
the
80 in here. I have the window open. It says it's 80 in here, which is amazing. That can't be right.
That's too warm.
Can't be right. Well, it is very close to. Never mind. You can see a little bit. There's a. I'm a dumbass. There's a wax warmer, like right next to it. So that's why it says that. It is. Yeah. Okay. All right. So again, any questions? We got just a few minutes left. Just about 2 minutes. If you've got anything, do the @RicoStan if you want me to ask a question or just want to say hi or anything that. Sherry. Is it Sherry or Cherie? Is the actual Alishon said that's who I was thinking of. Is it Sherry?
Sherry from Bucks County?
See, Cherry.
Sherry.
That it? Sherry. Okay, because see, my wife's aunt's name.
But it's Sherry.
Okay. My wife's aunt's name is spelled that way, but she pronounced it Cherie. She's from upstate New York. I don't. There's Chevy Fish. She says hi.
It's her name, so she gets to be the authority on it. You can be whatever name you want to be. you get to choose it.
Yeah, people are saying that Susie did say this morning that she had it, so she was the one that talked about it. Cool. And I don't see any more questions. Jenna P does say though that she has one of those thermometers in her pre-K class. She's a teacher, so hopefully it's not a sex toy. So hopefully it's not a sex toy. And yes, she is very brave. I think we're coming up to the end. We got a minute left before 2 minutes left. You've already talked about different things coming up and everything. Next week we have another person that went to the Keystone Clash. Colored Guppies is going to be my guest. Vinay. Most of you know Vinay, awesome guy. He's going to be our guest next week. So super excited about that. A bunch more people coming up. Ricky would like to know where we can find info about the Keystone Clash. I don't think there's any way to really find a lot of info right now, right? Because it's too early?
Well, can you go to KeystoneClash.com? The KeystoneClash.com. So that helps. As soon as we have it announced, we'll put it up either, well, both really. On the website, there is a Keystone Clash Facebook group and page. So once we have those that information, that will get blasted, and you will see that around. If I do a good job, you will see it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I did forget about KeystoneClash.com and the group. I'm still a member of the group. I still see stuff posted there all the time, and I totally forgot about it. Nice. So you got up to 311 subs during the stream. That's very cool. Appreciate everybody going and subbing to her.
Nice stand.
And hey, everybody, thanks for hanging out with us. I think we'll go ahead and shut her down. We're right at, we just went over 2 hours. I think we talked about everything I wanted to talk about. We're going to do, real quick. I just want to give a shout out to KG Tropicals. I mentioned it this morning in the chat on the Aquatic Morning Show, but it's easy to miss some things. It didn't get picked up. They just donated another $500 to us for the Fish Fam Christmas.
Wow.
So we're at $8,300 officially right now. John and Lisa gave us 5 $100 gift cards to their store. Very cool of them. Appreciate the hell out of that. Again, $8,300 so far in donations. API was one of the companies too. Aquarium Co-op. I mean, we've got a lot of companies that I won't waste all the time going over them right now because I've done it so many times. But that's the new one is KG Tropicals.
Use some of those as prizes.
Yeah, I mean, we take anything. I know people would love some of that type of stuff. I absolutely.
I'll make some weird art.
I can guarantee that people would love that type of stuff. And we give choices too. So the choice will be, I don't know, we'll figure out a monetary value, and you can have a gift card for this place, or you can have some of this, or give people choices.
That's crazy. That's
across the board, because again, it's also global in nature, so we sort of have to do that because we might have somebody from Sweden that wins, or somebody from Australia or wherever. We do have people around the globe, so, and everybody is eligible to win on all of those, except for obviously the physical prizes, like Bulk Reef Supply gave us a RODI unit. Those types of things won't be able to be shipped even to Canada.
Yeah, that would cost a lot to get to Sweden.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So
don't do that to yourself.
Everybody, thanks for hanging out with us. Was there anything else that you wanted to throw out, Callie, before we're done?
Not really, but if anyone's in the area, PAX Unplugged, I'll be there. If not, every month, Bucks County Aquarium Society, I'm obviously on my channel doing that. If not, I'll see you at the conventions. Nice.
And again, people, it's definitely worth it to join the Bucks County Aquarium Society, even if you're not in the area. I probably will never make it to a single physical meeting, but I'm a member and I've enjoyed it a lot. So thanks so much for hanging out with us, everybody. And let's see, we got a bunch of streams still tonight. There's some going on right now. Oh, Catfish Terry's birthday today. I don't know if he's still streaming. Go over and say happy birthday to Catfish Terry. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have Ladies Night. Always a blast. It's so much fun. And we also, and that's on Shanna 503 Aquatics. That's on her channel. And you also have Bentley Pasco at 9 p.m. tonight as well. So, and I know that I'm forgetting some other ones. Dr. Black is after that. There's other good streams there too. So go show some love. And hey, thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you later.